Life zooms by for the fastest man alive, so his greatest moments come and go at lightning speed. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down the top 10 greatest Flash moments. For this list, we're looking at those moments that really stood out for the 6 decades of the Scarlet Speedster's history, in comics and in other media. Number 10, Flash vs. Arrow. Flash wouldn't be on TV if it weren't for Arrow, the CW series that first introduced Barry Allen, and Flash and Arrow share a very special bond.
I was getting ready to make my move. What move? The one to the morgue?
Their crossover episodes are always exciting, but our favorite is when these two friends take each other on. Oliver has come to Central City and seen Barry in action. He's impressed, but he also sees that Barry lacks discipline and training, two things that Oliver has in spades.
Barry, I have been living this life for almost 8 years, encountering things that you can't even fathom, and I am still alive.
This observation comes in handy later when Barry is filled with uncontrollable rage after being affected by a metahuman's ability to manipulate emotions. This all means that a certain bowslinger has to try to rein him in without killing him.
I still believe in you, Barry.
Number 9, Henry's death.
It's poetic, returning to your childhood home.
Season 2 of Flash featured Barry and company trying to destroy the massively villainous Zoom, a speedster from another Earth. Zoom was always 2 steps ahead of our hero, and because he was ruthless, he was always ready to go places that Barry wouldn't in order to win.
That's why I'm gonna beat you, Barry. Because you always have to be the hero.
In the season's 22nd episode, Team Flash is celebrating the return of Barry's dad, Henry. When everyone is dining at Barry and Joe's home, Zoom shows up and kidnaps Henry.
The story continues, Flash.
With Barry in hot pursuit, Zoom takes Henry to Barry's childhood home. Then, in the same room where Barry saw his mother brutally murdered by the Reverse Flash, Zoom kills Henry. It's a classic, gut-wrenching moment that packs a big punch.
Your mother and I love you.
Number 8, the death of Iris West. The Flash is known for his lighthearted way of working and his breezy repartee, but the character has gone through a lot of tragedies. The death of his mother and father have already been mentioned, but there was definitely more to come. Barry Allen and Iris West had one of the happiest marriages in comics. Even when Iris worried about Barry possibly being unfaithful, it was cleared up really quickly, and the two celebrated by deciding that it was time to start a family. Their future planned, the couple go to a costume party disguised as Batgirl and of course the Flash. Tragically, the Flash's archenemy, Reverse Flash, takes Iris's life at the party. It was a moment that would haunt the Flash for years. Number 7, becoming part of the Speed Force. Several people have been called the Flash, including Barry's former sidekick Wally West, who was responsible for this memorable moment. It had been established that all of DC's speedsters got their power from a mysterious energy called the Speed Force. The problem is that if you go too fast, you would get sucked into the Force itself and couldn't get out. Unfortunately, in terminal velocity, the villainous Cobra is setting in motion a plan to destroy the world, and while battling him, Wally gets sucked into the Speed Force. All seems lost until Wally miraculously returns, drawn back because of his love for his girlfriend Linda. Aww. Number 6, introducing Barry Allen. Since the Barry Allen version of The Flash is generally credited with ushering in the so-called Silver Age of comics, it's appropriate that Barry's debut should be on this list. Superhero comics were in a bit of a dip during the 40s and early 50s, but DC's decision to try reviving and revitalizing one of their old characters paid off in a big way. In Showcase number 4, readers meet Barry Allen, a police scientist who enjoys reading the comic book adventures of the original Flash. When a bolt of lightning douses Barry with an array of chemicals, the perennially late Barry Allen suddenly finds that he's the fastest man alive, and comic book history was made. Number 5, Barry causes Flashpoint.
Hello, Barry. Thawne. I love what you've done with the place.
In the Flashpoint storyline, the DC world as we know it has been turned upside down. Aquaman and Wonder Woman are at war with each other, Captain Cold is a hero, and Batman is Thomas Wayne instead of Bruce Wayne. You get the picture, right? Oh, by the way, the world is also on the brink of destruction. You see, in this world, Barry's mother didn't die, but his father did.
Mom. It's you. You're here.
Barry's the only person who remembers the world the way it was supposed to be, and he realizes that only the Reverse Flash could have engineered this. The series leads up to their confrontation, when the villain reveals that Barry is actually responsible. He had gone back in time to save his mother, thus creating the Flashpoint universe.
Good job, Barry. The world is about to end. thanks to you.
Number 4, Barry's choice.
You hold both our futures in your hands now, Mr. Allen. And I know you can do it.
Season 1 of the Flash TV series revolves heavily around the death of Barry's mother. By the end of the season, Barry knows that the Reverse Flash, a speedster from the future, did the deed. But killing her stranded the villain in Barry's timeline.
I was stuck here, stranded in this time, unable to return to my own.
Now Reverse Flash lets Barry in on a secret. He can help Barry go back in time to save his mother, if Barry then helps him get back to the future. It's a hard choice for Barry to make, but eventually he decides to take the trip back to the past. Viewers watch Barry return, ready to stop his mother's death, only to change his mind. Instead, Barry chooses to provide comfort and closure to his dying mother.
Dad and I are both okay. And we love you, Mom.
Number 3, The Flash races Superman, for real.
Can it outrun the Flash?
You bet.
Can Superman outrun the Flash?
Sure, why not?
Starting in 1967, Flash and Superman engaged in a number of races to determine which of them was faster, but they almost always ended in a tie or a win that was technical rather than decisive. In the Rebirth storyline, Flash has to sacrifice himself to the Speed Force in order to save the other speedsters, and he starts pouring on the speed to get engulfed in the Speed Force. Superman, however, won't let him. The Man of Steel catches up to Barry, trying to talk him out of it. He reminds Barry that they've raced before and that Barry can't run away. Barry, star that he is, lets Superman know that he was holding back all of those times, and he instantly leaves the Man of Steel in his dust. Number 2, Silver Age and Golden Age Flash meet. This classic is important, not just because Barry Allen meets Jay Garrick, the original Flash, but also because it's the birth of the entire DC multiverse. It starts out with Flash performing tricks for kids at a Central City charity event. Suddenly, he disappears before their very eyes and turns up in Keystone City. Barry has vibrated his atoms so fast that he crosses the barrier into the Earth of another dimension. There, he soon meets up with the original Flash, Jay Garrick. The two Flashes team up, starting a beautiful friendship and opening the door to many other alternate universes for DC to explore. Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Forgive me. But to me, you've been dead for centuries.
I don't understand. If I'm the Flash, then why are you doing this to me? Why do I have to catch this thing before you let me go back?
Number 1, Barry's Sacrifice. DC promised there would be big changes in its Crisis on Infinite Earths event, and they were not kidding. The Anti-Monitor has constructed an antimatter cannon which will destroy the remains of the multiverse. In order to stop him, Flash locates the source of the cannon's power. By running around it at a faster speed than he's ever attempted before, Barry is able to destroy the power core. But doing so also disrupts Flash's physical being. His mortal core is hurled through time, ultimately disintegrating. Flash has made the ultimate sacrifice, choosing death to save countless lives, none of whom were aware of what he has done. Do you agree with our choices?
No. No, I don't. But I choose to.
What other moments from the Scarlet Speedster's life should we have included? For more speedy top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.